All right. So here's something wild that most people have no idea about. There's this tick called the Lone Star tick. And if it bites you, it can actually make you allergic to red meat. I'm not joking. People are getting bit and then suddenly they can't eat things like beef, pork, or even use certain products like toothpaste or lotion because they're made from animal-based ingredients. These ticks used to be mostly down in the southeast, but because things around the world are changing and we have rising temperatures, they've started showing up way farther north, like New York and Maine. And they're moving west too. Yeah. And the crazy part, this meat allergy called alpha-gal syndrome has gone from just a few cases to nearly 500,000 people. The CDC says they've officially counted around 110,000, but experts think the real number is way higher because it's hard to diagnose. And it's not like a peanut allergy that hits you right away. With this, you might eat a burger, feel fine for hours, then suddenly break out in hives or even end up in the ER. Some people have even had heart attacks because of it. And the more tick bites you get, the worse it can get. There's no cure for it right now, by the way. Understand now that people who have this allergy basically have to change their whole lives. No meat, no dairy, watching every ingredient. And the ticks aren't slowing down. As temperatures keep heating up, they're spreading into more areas. What's even scarier is that other types of ticks might also be able to spread this allergy too, not just the Lone Star tick. On top of that, public health funding is getting cut. So while tick-borne diseases are on the rise, the support to deal with them is actually going down. It's a growing problem, and it's not getting the attention it deserves. One of the things that it is important to wake up to when it comes to matters like this, it's not what they tell you, it's what they don't tell you. Explosive increase of ticks that cause meat allergy in U.S. due to climate crisis. Unusually aggressive Lone Star ticks, common in the southeast, are spreading to areas previously too cold for them. Blood-sucking ticks that trigger a bizarre allergy to meat in the people they bite are exploding in number and spreading across the U.S., to the extent that they could cover the entire eastern half of the country and infect millions of people, experts have warned. Lone Star ticks have taken advantage of rising temperatures by the human-caused climate crisis, lie, to expand from their heartland in the southeast U.S. to areas previously too cold for them. In recent years, marching as far north as New York and even Maine, as well as pushing westwards. The ticks are known to be unusually aggressive and can provoke an allergy in bitten people whereby they cannot eat red meat without enduring a severe reaction, such as breaking out in hives and even the risk of heart attacks. The condition, known as alpha-gal syndrome, has proliferated from just a few dozen known cases in 2009 to as many as 450,000 now. Like I said at the beginning of this presentation, folks, it's not what they tell you, it's what they don't tell you. So let me tell you what's going on here. Back in the late 1990s and early 2000s, doctors, especially a guy named Dr. Thomas Platt Mills, started noticing something really strange. People in the southeastern U.S. were having weird allergic reactions to red meat, right? But it wasn't like your usual allergy where symptoms show up immediately. This was happening hours later, sometimes in the middle of the night. Even more strange, some of these same people were reacting badly to a cancer drug. Turns out, both reactions were connected to the same thing, a sugar molecule found in red meat called alpha-gal. Fast forward to around 2002, and Dr. Platts Mills figured it out. These people had also been bitten by ticks. Not just any ticks, but mostly the Lone Star tick, the one with the white dot on its back. The theory is when this tick bites you, it injects alpha-gal into your body. And for some people, that causes their immune system to go crazy the next time they eat red meat. By the way, not everyone bitten by a tick gets this allergy. It seems to depend on how many times you've been bitten, the kind of tick, and how your body reacts. Some people's immune systems just get more sensitive than others. Now, why is this becoming such a big deal now? Well, warmer weather and shorter winters are letting these ticks spread into new areas, places where they didn't used to be. Plus, there are more deer around, which ticks love, and so naturally, we're running into ticks more often. And it's not just the Lone Star tick anymore. Similar reactions have been reported in other parts of the world, Australia, Sweden, Europe, linked to other types of ticks. Even here in the US, there's some evidence that the black-legged tick, the same one that spreads Lyme disease, might also be involved. Crazy, right? A tiny tick bite can change your entire relationship with food. Okay, so check this out. Researchers at the University of Virginia noticed something really strange. Some people were breaking out in serious allergic reactions hours after eating red meat, things like beef, pork, or lamb. That's not how food allergies usually work. Most hit within minutes, not in the middle of the night after dinner. So naturally, they started digging into it. And so there was a study done on alpha-gal. To figure it out, the researchers tested blood samples from people who had allergic reactions like hives, swelling, or even full-blown anaphylaxis after eating red meat. They also did skin tests with meat and checked for something called IgE antibodies. Those are the immune markers your body releases when it's reacting to something it sees as a threat. Turns out, every single person they tested had super high levels of IgE antibodies to alpha-gal. But here's the twist. It wasn't an immediate reaction. It took 3 to 6 hours for symptoms to kick in, which made it super hard to diagnose. A lot of these people ended up in the ER in the middle of the night, completely unaware that dinner was the culprit. Once they stopped eating red meat, their symptoms improved or disappeared entirely. And they could still eat chicken, turkey, or fish, no problem. So clearly, this wasn't your typical food allergy. So they found that it all traced back to tick bites, mainly from the Lone Star tick. The idea is that when this tick bites you, it introduces alpha-gal into your system, and your body starts treating it like an invader. Then, the next time you eat red meat, boom, your immune system freaks out. This was one of the first major studies to prove that a tick bite could cause your body to develop a delayed and serious allergy, not from a germ or a virus, but from your own immune system reacting to a sugar in meat. Now, folks, here's what they're not going to come out and tell you. Let's start with the food itself. A big question is, what else were people eating with the meat? Were they having things like dairy, sugary drinks, preservatives, or processed meats like bacon or sausage? Just eating sugar alone can make you itch and break out in hives. All of those could be playing a role. Even stuff like gelatin or natural flavorings from animal sources might sneak in and trigger a reaction. So it's not always just the meat. It could be what comes with it. Now, add alcohol to the mix. Alcohol can actually make allergies worse because it helps your gut absorb allergens more easily. There are even cases where people only had a reaction when alcohol was involved. So imagine this. Someone eats a steak, has a glass of wine, and boom, reaction hits a few hours later. Another surprising factor is exercise. Yeah. Working out soon after eating meat has triggered allergic reactions in some people. There's a name for this: food-dependent exercise-induced anaphylaxis. Basically, the combo of food and physical activity sends your immune system into overdrive. And then there's medication. Were these people taking antacids, painkillers like ibuprofen, or immune suppressing drugs? These can mess with how your gut processes allergens, possibly letting more alpha-gal slip through. The way the food was cooked matters. Was the meat grilled, smoked, or microwaved? Heat changes the structure of food, and things like smoke or steam from meat could even release particles into the air. One woman said she reacted just from breathing in meat steam. So yeah, ventilation might be a big deal. Let's not forget the environment. Things like mold, pollen, dust, or even pet dander could prime the immune system. That means your body's already on edge, and when meat enters the picture, it overreacts. Also important, gut health. If someone has a leaky gut, IBS, or inflammation in the digestive system, it's way easier for molecules like alpha-gal to sneak into the bloodstream. And if your gut barrier is compromised, your immune system is way more likely to freak out. Now here's something else crazy. The timing of the tick bite matters too. How recent was it? Did they get bitten multiple times? Repeated exposure might make the body react more aggressively or more quickly. And there is something else that even scientists won't consider, and that is called the Randall Cycle. Sounds complicated, but here's the simple version. When you eat a lot of fats and carbs together, like burgers and fries or pork sandwiches and soda, it can overload your metabolism. That overload causes inflammation and poor sugar processing, which leads to blood sugar imbalances, especially if your body's already under stress or not really healthy. So imagine this chain reaction. You eat a fatty, carb-heavy meal with red meat, which contains alpha-gal. Maybe drink some alcohol. Maybe you've got poor gut health or inflammation, and you were already bitten by a tick weeks ago. That's a perfect storm. The gut leaks, the immune system sees alpha-gal as a threat, and hours later, you're breaking out in hives or worse. So yeah, not everyone gets alpha-gal syndrome because it's not just about the tick bite. It's also about your diet, your lifestyle, your immune system, and your gut. It's a combo of factors that all stack up, and for some people, that stack leads straight to an allergic reaction. Now, there's one more thing, and this is the part that got my blood boiling because there is always an agenda. Guess who funded that study? The NIH, or National Institute of Health. GlaxoSmithKline, Merck, Genentech, Phadia, which is Thermo Fisher now, and ImClone, which is Eli Lilly. Even though they each have different levels of involvement with alpha-gal syndrome, they're all rooted in biotechnology and pharmaceuticals. Every one of these companies is involved in developing medical products, whether it's drugs, diagnostics, vaccines, or biologics. They play major roles in how diseases are diagnosed, treated, and managed. They specialize in immunology, allergy, or inflammation. Even if not all of them directly treat alpha-gal syndrome, their portfolios often include medications or technologies that deal with allergic responses, like IgE-related conditions, autoimmune or inflammatory diseases, immune-modulating drugs. This ties them all to the broader field of immunological research, where alpha-gal syndrome lives. They support or fund clinical research. Each company has financially supported or partnered with researchers through grants, advisory boards, speaker bureaus, career development programs. This means they have a vested interest in shaping or supporting the science behind new health discoveries, even indirectly. They also influence or benefit from diagnostic and treatment protocols. Phadia provides the alpha-gal blood tests, immunocap. Genentech makes biologics like Zeolyte that can potentially treat allergic reactions, including alpha-gal. Others like Merck and GSK offer drugs used to treat symptoms, antihistamines, steroids, or indirectly benefit from improved allergy management tools. You want to know something else that's weird? Gelatin is used as a stabilizer in vaccines like MMR, chickenpox, and even some flu shots. There have been cases, especially in Japan back in the 90s, where kids developed allergic antibodies to gelatin after getting vaccinated. Later on, these kids had allergic reactions when they ate foods or took medicines containing gelatin, like gummy candies or capsules. So, the vaccine exposure may have primed their immune system to react to gelatin and other products. The flu vaccine is grown using eggs, so it can contain tiny traces of egg protein. While most people with egg allergies can safely get flu shots nowadays, some researchers have wondered if early exposure to these egg proteins in vaccines could possibly sensitize infants. When a vaccine triggers a strong immune response while food proteins are still in your system, like if you just ate peanuts, it might cause your immune system to wrongly identify those foods as harmful. So the combination of a vaccine or infection plus food antigens could lead to new allergies. But to be clear, this is mostly a theory and hasn't been proven in large studies yet. But they know about it. My point is, cattle and other grazing animals are given vaccines to defend against tick bites. So, you get bitten by a tick, and then you go and eat the flesh of an animal that was given a drug to defend against the tick that you were bitten by. Does that sound like there might be an issue somewhere in there? Well, I've probably already said too much and I'm just going to leave it there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please hit the thumbs up button and like this video for me. Share this video and tell your friends. Everyone have a great day, and until next time, stay awake, stay aware, stay safe, and I'll talk to you all soon. Every minute of every day, your body heals, repairs, and regenerates you from the inside out. Yet everyday exposure to heavy metals and toxins builds up and blocks your body's natural abilities. Natural zeolite is nature's answer to our toxic body burden. Breakthrough sound wave technology creates the world's first colloidal zeolite. Touchtone Essentials Pure Body Extra Colloidal Zeolite helps clean out the chemicals from the body with an easy-to-use spray so you can make room for healthy in your life. Click the link in the description box below to order your supply of Zeolite today, because now is the time to live your best life.